The biggest problem with doing this by yourself, I'm used to having a crew, is you forget something, you have to go to take two. And what really saps and destroys your energy is trying to remember what you said in take one. If it's not scripted, you don't have a script, you can't just go back to the script. You have to try to remember what you said. So anyway, take two. I wanted to get back to this idea that you are the cage. Obviously the cage is engineered, it's architected, it's developed through ideas, ideologies, technologies, so on and so forth. Everything influences the cage, from algorithms to textbooks to the media and many, many other things. A friend of mine said to me today, textbooks are fine as long as they contain the facts. And I said, well, that's fine, but who's reading the textbook, and do they know what the facts are? How do they know that the textbook is factual? Who wrote the textbook? And what was their motivation to write it? Somebody said, our education goes far enough to show us how to run the machines. So what machine do they want you to run? How do they want you to fit in? What do they want you to believe? The people writing the textbooks. The educational system in your state or country. Is it a imperial Japanese textbook or a Japanese textbook that happened after World War II? What are the facts? If we're talking about science, the facts are provisional. We have some laws of physics that are pretty solid, but even those change a bit. And what do you need to do to know the laws of physics or mathematical facts? If you want to get creative with physics or engineering or architecture or mathematics, you have to have a really deep understanding of the subject. And you also have to have a surveyor's mind, like some historians, Yuval Harari or Niall Ferguson, other people like that, who write books that are broad surveys on many subjects and domains. These people gain a lot of wisdom from a broad survey because they can understand many things and take from those many things to be creative in their own expert domain, where they have deep knowledge, deep understanding. As you know more facts, that you've learned how to discern our facts across many domains, you become wiser, more intelligent. And your bullshit detector becomes better, more effective. Your ability to know when something just doesn't smell right. Another thing at the base of all this is the profit motive. Of course, who's writing the checks? I think that our governments are captive to corporate special interests. They serve the people who write the checks, just like you work for a boss who writes the checks. Is that democracy? Does that empower you to develop and create your own cage, your own bubble, your own castle, your own domain? Does that allow you the kind of agency and sovereignty that you want? Perhaps not. Society, culture, politics, democracy is something that you have to participate in. So if you worked with your community and maybe contributed 4 hours a month to pushing back on people who write textbooks and people who make decisions about your life in the halls of power, in Congress, in the Parliament, you would have a lot more power because there'd be a lot more people involved on the ground who know how these policies affect their lives. They could always draw on a broad spectrum of people, but as long as we're creating enmity and scapegoats. And we're out there burning and yelling and screaming, just demonstrating. Then we're being conned into this war footing, to finding scapegoats. Much has been said. When I curate the curators and post on Globe Hackers on Facebook, I see tons and tons of articles from conservative, liberal, every edge of the spectrum on these subjects. What's true? What's factual? How do you figure that out? We're going to have to get busy across domains educating ourselves so that we can really do that work ourselves without being overly influenced by our group, our tribe, algorithms, technologies, the media. If we don't do that, then we're all just Stockholm Syndrome. We're captive, just like the government's captive to global corporations. We're captive. And we don't know. And we identify with our captors. We think our captors are telling us the truth because we haven't learned how to find out what the truth is. This is not a good thing. I think the coronavirus was an opportunity that wasn't missed. A lot of corporations, politicians took advantage of it. The Fed printed a lot of money all over the world. Where did that money go? Not to you. In the United States, it didn't go to infrastructure or Green New Deals or anything like that, healthcare. It went straight to the stock market. A lot has been said. I don't have to go there. You should know. We should stop creating scapegoats and going at each other, and we should start teaching ourselves how to find out, how to discern what a fact is. So I'm going to end there because the first take went long and the flies are all over me. I'm in Óbidos, Leiria, Portugal, during a heat wave, 35 degrees. It's beautiful. I hope you'll talk to me about these things. Look up Game B, look up Zeitgeist, the movement. Look up DM25. Start teaching yourself, because if you can't discern what the facts are, it doesn't matter what's in the textbook. You'll just take it like it's a fact. You'll just assume it's the truth. All right? Have a good day. Go out and have some fun. Be nice to each other. Learn from each other. Teach each other. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.